That shit was funny. The other day too, we were having audio issues with Eclipse in binary, and he sent me his audio because like whatever his connection was, it coming in clear on the hubs. It was just funny. Audio issues.
Yeah, I was just having audio issues. I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
I thought my mic went bad. It's like, they can't hear me. I'm talking. Why can't they hear me?
Audio issues all the time.
Oh yeah, it's always fun. You gotta play with it.
Yeah,
What's been up, man?
So we're here at the Real Minds Fest. And you know what the crazy thing is that Chris, I'm so glad that somebody we know like won that contest and like is going and is there representing the MTCG ecosystem, token ecosystem.
Yeah, man.
I told him to tell Bill to blaze him out because I said to tell him to do that. I put it on my tab. Put that on my tab.
Yeah. Oh man. It would be cool if like they would figured out a way to like get a live stream that everybody could watch and kind of hang out and talk together. And I know they said that they were gonna stream it somewhere, but like every time I try to load it, it's just I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, they could have had like a virtual like lounge or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of, it only took me less than like 24 hours to figure out like how to like really make a cool room. It's easy.
Yeah.
I've been going nuts on that one room. I have other different rooms too. What I got like interested in doing was creating a spear that like animated but didn't look like janky or like very noticeable of the seam, because like how it wraps around, like you could always see the seam a lot of times and it's like distracting. But if you do it right, there's the seam is less noticeable, but it's cool when it's like wrapped around you. So I've been fucking around with that shit a lot. I have some cool ones. Yeah, I've been getting weird.
Yeah, man, we gotta work on getting them all tied together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that video that Eclipse did asking Jolly? Like I think he did it as a super minds. But anyways, he talks about like he has this like design where it's like where we do that. It's like a kind of like a spaceport, and there's like different ones. Jolly actually has a blender model that's like he's calling it a Stargate, but it's like a little portal. Did you see that one too?
Oh yeah, I saw his. His is really nice. He's been working hard on it. I like the way it looks out. I gotta talk to him about mobile though, like because I'm on my phone a lot, and you gotta be able to flip it with the hubs on your phone so you can move it better. So I got to talk to him about that, see if he can do that for me. But other than that, like I do, it's coming along really nicely. I like the way it looks. But yeah, once like I think like that's something like for everybody to try to get like at least one room to hop into from their room, so you kind of like portal around places. Like you don't have to have them all, but like if you just have one in it and then that one has a different one in it, eventually people will hop around.
And then in our clarity we'll have a map of the whole like ecosystem. So there's like like here's a little like cubby hole, like this is how you it's like it's because I did that to one room. There was like a model that I wanted to see how it was, and I forgot what it was, like mushroom something. But what I didn't realize with the model is that it's like kind of like underground. It's like a hobbit hole. And then, like I put it, I'm like, oh, this thing sucks. And then I was flying around, and then I went in it. I'm like, oh, it's like a room in here. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And and I'm like, oh, this is better than I thought, you know. But you could hide, like, you know, your portal to someone's, you know, to the underground.
Yeah, you can hide little like Easter eggs in people's rooms and things with the pen. Like you can size your image like really small and then pin it somewhere. It's fun. But yeah, we did.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get my tea.
Tea? Oh man, I guess it is early. Is KD here? KD must be gone too. Everybody left me.
It's Corey's listening in. Just listening in.
I was trying to talk to him about the hubs, but he didn't respond. He must be in the background. He said he's doing a lot this morning. Glad he got a chance to at least, yeah. At least he stopped in.
I wanted to ask him, like, what different AI programs that he played with.
He was talking about the one he was working for his the little nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was talking to me about that one and how like he's doing the Python for it, the Python coding for it, and I guess it's like focusing on like underdeveloped areas that have less medical care.
Okay.
So like you can get better medical care in those underdeveloped areas, which is like that's really cool, man. Like that's the kind of things people need to use AI for.
Well, you know, I was kind of mentioning this with within the vacuum one time, and it's like I think I was making the point about like just everybody's like paranoia of AI is like I don't agree with that like premise or like I think that's just like bad thinking. But anyways, and then so I was like, okay, well, like then I was just thinking generally about like what can we use this for? What would it be like useful and all this kind of stuff. And then it just like became like this like obvious thing because we were talking about like abstractly too about other things. And I was just like, oh, this is how we like able to coordinate at scale, because like we're at scale, but like no one person can like handle that. Like it's too complicated, you know what I mean? But like even at that, I don't even think like one AI should control all of that either. Like it has to be, it's like a orchestra of like a lot of different agents in a sense.
Yeah. I mean that's the whole problem that I kind of have with the open AI and all the ones that are coming out. Is like there's so few. Like I've found one or two open source, and even the open source ones that you find, like the licensing and all the like data collection still usually falls under OpenAI. So like
yeah, they're all using OpenAI, and they're just like building their models and like their little plugins to the AI model.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you can be as open source as you want, but if you don't control the data that's on your own stuff, like I don't understand the point.
And the thing is like okay, I was listening to a little bit of Bill on Rogan, right? And he was talking about, you know, just open source in general and decentralization in general. But, you know, they're talking about like copyright and shit like that, right?
Oh, okay.
And so like Rogan, well, first Bill was talking about how like they're using something in Nostr or whatever in the back end to kind of like decentralize the network. And then he was saying that like he's trying to like design into where like him as Minds, the entity, can't necessarily like shut down like the whole network, and like people could like, you know, run their own like Minds thing, and then like say for instance, you know, we put up stuff and then whatever they don't want it, and then we still have access to those posts or whatever, and then we could just like run up our own server and put it on our own server. And so like Rogan was saying something about like, well, what about if like someone's putting up like, you know, like basically you kind of like Napster, like ripping someone else's media and like posting it, right? And then he's kind of like, oh, eventually gets to the end, like, oh, he can't really take it down. And there's nothing preventing him from sharing it. And they're like, no. And then, and so it was kind of funny. But what I was thinking, then later they get to this point, I'm like, homie, like those concerns are like irrelevant in the sense of like AI. Like what like everything that was ever on the internet, like up until whatever that point of OpenAI, is like fair game for this thing eventually to figure out how to remix it, you know? Like,
yeah. It's crazy, and that's like, and the thing is like with decentralization and all that, it is like I think it should be more like a setup of nodes, right? Especially for like social media and stuff. Like you have a node, and that's where all your content is stored, and then the main host, whoever that is, be Minds or whoever, pulls the current data from your node. So you control that node, and then you can delete the data inside. Like if you make a post, you can delete that post, and it won't be able to pull that post anymore. Or you can just delete your entire node and then be done with it, and it won't be able to pull anything.
And in the same way of like what we need to like evolve our thinking, but like in the sense that like online communities need to like have their own node and even running their own like AI model on it.
Oh yeah. I mean,
and then
it's
like keeping like some of that, like, because like later and when they got to it, like, so like Rogan talks about like there was this Canadian company who got like all his audio and video, and then we're making deep fake interviews of Joe Rogan. And then Joe goes something about like but it was all kind of like dull, right? It wasn't like anything like exciting or funny or whatever, like and all that kind of stuff. And then like later, like the what in my own head I'm calling like the organic like creativity is gonna be like even at the sense that like people making like mistakes. Oh my god, that's not a bot, that's like a real person. it's gonna like stand out, like, oh my god, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because if you deal enough with some of the AI stuff, like you begin to like recognize it real quick. But like at first you didn't recognize it at first, and then like now you kind of like recognize it because you see kind of like the template, and even like I remember like the first time, like instantly when I saw those fake Trump being arrested photos, I'm like, oh, that's it, that's AI.
That was great. Those were so great though. Like, I remember seeing one where like he had like 3 legs, and then
the details, the hands are all fucked up.
He had like 2 a second hand coming out or something, and one of them I was like, oh, this is great. These are wonderful.
It's so creepy. Like once he's like really look at it, the eyes are always fucked up. Like
yeah. The eyes are. Those things, like the AI has terrible problems with drawing eyes. Like, I don't know.
There was this one photo, and it was of this like science fiction author. But what was so funny, it was one of those like photorealistic ones. But what was funny, that the light. Okay, so it was like him, and it was raining, and he has an umbrella. But there was like a light in the umbrella, like shining down, like if you're doing a photo shoot.
Okay.
Which is so funny because like that would never happen, but you know.
Yeah.
But it's all subtle. Just like when you stare at it, you're like, wait a minute, why is there light coming from the umbrella when it's raining? Like that. It's not.
That's not how things work, is it? Do they have a lantern under there?
I'm pretty sure that's not how it works.
Glitch in the Matrix. It was a glitch in the Matrix. It worked that way that day. Oh man,
this shit's funny, but it's only gonna get better. And like even like some of the stuff that I was seeing was, you know, I shared those where you make those I think they call them the skybox landscapes that you put in the VR thing, and it makes it look like it's like a, you know, endless view or whatever. But they're building where you can keep on making it go, you know. Like it keeps on diffusing as you like further you go in the landscape.
Okay, gotcha.
That shit's cool.
Are you talking about the ones like, because I was playing with an AI the other day that it was like it made a little like 2D world as you walk through it. Are you talking about that kind of one?
Actually, it was making a 3D one.
The one I had only did 2D as you walk, like a little avatar, and you walk through it, and it would like make the scene as you go and stuff. But like it was only 2D.
You know those 2D landscapes that you put in like as the background for the 3D that I've been sharing.
Yeah.
They that company or whatever that app showed like a demo of what they're like working on, and it's like a diffusion like in kind of like real time as you move, like the landscape extends out.
Okay, cool. I got you. Yeah. I wonder how it handles the pixels. Like if you go into like just one area of that image, you know, because if you push pixels too far, like it's got to get grainy at some point, or is it just making it up as it goes along as you zoom in?
I think that's like the thing is like, which is crazy, but so. Because I've been messing around with those the animation one. I shared it too. And then I get blocked because I don't want to pay. Oh god, I gotta spoof my make a fake email.
Yeah. Which server am I using today?
Yeah. But what it does it's like a flip book, you know what I mean? It does it like in sets of like 50, I think it does.
Okay.
And then it you know, and then it like renders those 50 together as like kind of like little animation. And then so what that one that I was using, which is cool, is that you use it breaks up the prompts, so that's what gives it like the different things. So like when I did that like the mandala, and then at the end the turtle comes out. Because like in the prompt I said a bunch of different things, and then at the end I said cosmic sea turtle threading in whatever, you know what I mean? So there's so like the first set of 50 images is these two prompts, and then like 50 to the next 100 is another prompt, right? So each there's like I think you can break it up in like 4 or 5 different sets, and then you have like
it had quite a few when I went and checked it out. My phone didn't like it, so I had to use it on the computer, but
but that's what I was saying. And then like or was it a different one? No, it was a different one that I played with. I couldn't get their UX to like work really well on their like demo for their interface on the web app. So I did it with the code, you know, and like the walkthrough. And then you know, you change it and you do different things. But that one at the bottom that had a bonus word where you put a track, and it kind of like does things to like the music. I think I shared that one too. But that one, that's what got me thinking like, oh my god. We set like a Imaginarium mandala remix, and then you get like 3 options, like a clip song or within the vacuum song or Imaginarium song, and then like then you put in like a prompt of like different things that you want to mandala, and then you have a little clip, and then it's like, you know, your own fucking weird unique clip.
Hell yeah. I was thinking like I want to experiment with it where you can add like little sections of music, like even if it's like a 3 to 5 second wave of music into the AI, and see if it can produce an actual song with it, like compared to what other music it has information on. You know what I mean? Like if you give it a bunch of musical notes like that you can use, like Beethoven and all the, you know, all the ones that you can actually use, and give it those data sets, and then start putting in like little waves of music into it, will it eventually be able to make like a song from that music? I want to play with that.
I haven't played with any of like I know there's a few of those like music generators, but I read about a couple, and you know, it's always like the same thing. It's like, oh, it's generic or whatever, like, you know, do a rock song, and then it's a rock song, but it's like a generic rock song, you know what I mean? But what I was thinking is actually something Kevin shared, and it's like these beats or whatever. I got stuck. I hit a paywall, so I was like, "Oh, fuck this." But what I was understanding from reading it is like, so they have the different like frequencies. So you know, like on like YouTube, there's like these meditative like soundscapes, and they're like at 55 hertz, you know, for clearing your chakras or some bullshit like that or whatever, right? But then the website has it all like broken down like that. And then what I was noticing of what you could modify is like you set this repetition in loops, but then you could like modify it within like, I think the chain was like 3. So you could say, oscillate between, you know, the setting A was like between these hertz, and then it goes over time to the next loop, which will be B, and then you set it to another parameter, and then C will be another parameter, and then it loops in threes like that, and then and I guess within those sets, you know, it's randomizing or generating whatever, you know, rhythm.
Yeah, but then you can put those sets together into one wave, and then you can remix that wave and whatever loops. Wave. Yeah. That's an interesting idea. I like that. I like breaking up and remixing kind of musical things.
There was this other one. What was it called? Psy Sonic or Pi Sonic? Oh, I think it was Pi Sonic or Sonic Pi. I don't know. It was this music app where it has all these like loops, and like you code it in, and then it generates like loop tracks. So you could like there's all sorts of different things. You know, it's like all like sampling. You could get like horns, or, you know, strings, or you know, different drum loops,
right,
whatever. There's all sorts of the different files, and I think like the idea too, it was open source where people could like make their own files. You know what I mean? You could put like a frog loop, you know what I mean? And you just some frogs, and you can add it and shit like that.
Hell yeah.
Within the Vacuum was talking about something like that. I guess it was an analog version or something like that, or but he was talking about like bringing it into like kind of like a shared digital environment. But basically, it's the same thing as like you capture the sound of whatever, you know, like the cymbals, horn, cowbell, or whatever, and then you get to play it back on your mixtape, right, on the soundboard, you know, and then it like reassembles all those sounds. That would be cool.
Yeah, man. We got to figure something fun out like that. I really want to throw in the AI with those sound clips and see what it does.
Actually, I want to pitch this to Are You Serious? But did you ever see that what was it called? Forever AI or whatever? But it was like based off of like the setup was like Seinfeld, but it was an AI generated show that like was supposed to go on forever. I think it was on Twitch or whatever. Did you ever see that, the Seinfeld AI thing?
No.
Oh, you never see that?
I've never even heard of it.
Oh my god! So you when like everybody like right when like everybody was going crazy about like using ChatGPT, right? Like the early fever that there was this thing circulated around, and supposedly they used the ChatGPT to like write these like endless scripts, and I guess like the parameters was like Seinfeld, and then like they used like different dialogues, and then they would get like prompts from people like in chat and like feed it to their like algorithm, and then the characters, and I think that it was 4 characters, right? Kind of like Seinfeld, and then they go around saying all sorts of crazy shit. Based off of like people's like chat, and then I don't know if it's still around because they got like banned for being like
oh yeah, I'm sure the writers of Seinfeld were not happy.
No, they got banned for like a transphobic hate speech or something.
Oh Jesus.
Because eventually, if you let the AI go crazy, it goes full, Nazi and starts saying unhinged stuff.
Yeah. If you don't put anything in its head, it's just gonna blurt out whatever the next thing comes.
Whatever's on the internet, and we all know what's on the internet.
Hell yeah. Oh, this looks like it's something interesting to say. I got a lot of feedback. No, not that. No.
What? We can't say that?
Yeah, I just said there. What? You said it first.
You are so touchy.
Yeah.
This is what's getting clicks, baby. This is what's getting clicks. Oh,
that's
man.
right.
I didn't read all the article, but there's this guy, and he says what happens when you mount the AI, like creative AI, and it gets better with like the TikTok algorithm. So it's just like generating nothing but like these like trending clickbait stuff endlessly.
Oh, it'll happen. I see that happening with algorithms very fast.
So that's what the show was, right? The show was basically kind of based off of the premise of like Seinfeld, the basic like sitcom setup. And so they're like in an apartment, and then it'll be generated by the chat and then spoken, right? And it's supposed to just be on an endless loop. And then I think it might still be up. I don't know. But my what I want to pitch is like, and maybe we do it too, is using the hubs and stuff like that. We say that it's a totally AI generated show, but it's nothing but like us editing a skit show. We use AI, but we just tell everybody, "Oh man, it just got all generated by this proprietary algorithm that we have." But the proprietary algorithm is just us meeting together and saying, "Oh, should we do this or should we do that?"
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like our first skit should be that AI be like, it's like in a writer's room, right? And then the AI is like, and everybody's like, oh, this one's popular. I'm gonna just send out this tweet, and it's like, no.
Yes.
And it's like, what? We can't do that. We can't do that. And it's like always wanting to go unhinged, and everybody's like, no, don't do it.
Didn't you see Bud Light?
Just getting torched, you know what I mean?
Oh my god!
And the AI starts becoming like a real troll. You know, it's like, oh, I know what's gonna set the internet on fire. Like, I'm gonna start supporting trans people. Oh, it's gonna be so great.
Oh man. We could have it right, dude. Where's our wallet for us? Yeah,
so
but
we're gonna do a deep fake AI show.
Yeah, definitely. And we gotta name all the avatars character names. Inside the hubs, and then like we can make the hubs different scenes.
Yeah,
which is
different
the great part.
scenes.
Like you can have like an apartment, you can have like a park, you can have like these different places it goes to.
Yeah. and then like we're always pitching different scenes, right? And then whatever one we think is the best, and then we could get those AI generated voices. Like I played with a couple of them; they're pretty good. And we get the AI to do voiceover and play different roles.
Yeah. What'd you think of my Snoop Dogg one?
Oh yeah. It's funny.
Oh man! When I was making it, I saw that was an option. I was like, I can't not choose it.
Oh, I don't know if you've seen. I did it on the vapor test, but when I was playing with that, whose voice did they use? Gwyneth Paltrow. So I got like Gwyneth Paltrow saying all sorts of weird shit.
Hell yeah.
What I wanted to do is like, and like this is me all the time. Like, I keep on like exploring stuff, and I get to where I have to like pay, right?
Oh yeah. I do that all the time.
what I wanted and what I liked about this one, I gotta look it up again. But you could like eventually start adjusting their cadence, their timing, and their pausing, so you get like really crazy with the voices. Eventually, you know.
Oh yeah, I was trying to play with like the timing a lot with it, but like the one I was using for it was just a little app. Yeah. So like the little cadences like was really hard to like get it had like a little scroll down, and you try to scroll it and it would either go all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom. I'm just like, I guess it will be one cadence.
But even thinking about this, because like later, there's that, I think it's called Huggy Face? Whatever, and it's like an open source community AI.
Oh yeah. But they do a bunch of different. You're the one. You're talking about the one that Dolly started on, right? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, they do a lot of different little open source projects.
Yeah, and then there's a crypto one. I think it's called Singularity AI, and I know there's other ones, but those are the ones that I kind of like just checked out. But what I was saying is like, very soon there's going to be a lot of like different like, abilities to like unlock that, like, you could use, like even now, you're using the chatbot and like training it. But also to imagine like you have one where you're doing what I said about like the mandala, and you could like do the rendering like that, which would be cool. And then like also too, you get like those auto assistants. So like when someone does it and then like they say submit, and then it like autoly like posted on like say Imaginarium. You know what I mean? Oh, this is a good one.
Oh yeah.
And it's automatically like posted onto Imaginarium or whatever,
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty fun to have. I mean, I see this little chat thing here. Yeah, have you clicked that at all yet?
On the site, the new one.
Yeah, on Minds. Yeah,
Oh,
the little
yeah, the question thing. Yeah.
the little question thing. It's like, welcome to Minds. What are you looking for? And then it's like, we're away at the moment. I'm like, are you guys putting a bot there? Because I'm gonna just destroy your bot.
Actually, that's probably what they want. They want like a being type of thing on there.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking too. We'll see. It looks interesting. I've clicked it a few times to try to see what's going on with it, but it's always just been like, we're away at the moment. It's like, okay. You stay away then. Tell me when it's ready. I want to play with it and break it again. But yeah, that'd be fun to like if they could make that into like some kind of either like Bing chatbot or even like a place where people can use a bot to like for their channel, like for sharing among different groups and things like that.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. Yeah, man. we gotta get Eclipse in here at some point. He said he was gonna show up. He might be eating that.
But yeah, I would. Oh, dude. Okay, that's what we'll start working on. Well, that one skit I want to do with the AI, and I have a couple ideas on that. But we should do what I said on that poem that you did. That we write, the beginning. What we call the last codex. So it's like the story that like leads up to the video game, which I guess we're broadly calling Minds the video game. Remember with studios and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, but the story is it's like primitive man, right, on Earth, and we're just like hunter gatherers, chilling, and then like this event happens, and it's like aliens like giving these monkeys mushrooms, the food of the gods, and then they trip out or whatever, and then it's like them like just broadly speaking like taking like control back in a sense, like you first you're like, oh, you become aware, right, and you're like, oh my god,
yeah.
You wake up, and then you start to notice things, and then you're like, oh, these people are cool, right, they're teaching us stuff. And then, like, later you wake up and you realize, oh, we're like cattle to them. it's time to make a break. and it's like the breakout of Black Iron Prison. And it's like, that's like the story, right? And that story gets like broken up and lost. And that's why it's the Lost Codex. And so, but it's like the story that's always like being like told. And so then it's like us, be like, oh, AI's good. Oh, wait, AI. Oh, OpenAI's not good.
yeah, exactly. Like, I like that. Like, we could bring a lot of ancient alien this in there, like with the temples and like and the rulers cool being an alien and stuff.
That tool that I shared, and I already got a couple of them, and then I think later you modify them. But we could create whole scenes very easily with that tool in the hubs.
Oh yeah.
And then it's kind of like we have our own like little Star Wars, do like ancient alien Star Wars with psychedelics, right? We're like, oh, pyramids, and then we have like all these like weird worlds, and then we go and like we make up a story about like there, and basically we could get like premises like from the AI. And like basically they set up premises for us to like make up things.
Oh yeah. We could definitely use it for some fun things with the hubs and like building stories in the game and stuff.
Bob has been doing she did like a really with the being like the different characters. It was like a beginning to like a video game. Oh, pick this character.
Yeah. The little character cards that she had. Yeah, those were cool, man. I like those. Those are fun.
Those are cool.
Yeah. This is this is what people should be using. It's just everybody's so scared of it. I feel like they don't. It's just like you see like an article every day on, you know, how it's gonna destroy everything and everything's gonna be terrible. And it's like, well, you know, like we've had AI for a while. Like, like this has been around
that article
for a while now.
Right now about how bad AI is. AI wrote it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's right. Maybe that AI is right, but I'm pretty sure AI generated that article.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was AI generated article.
Some of them are just crazy about like how they're gonna take over and like make us slaves and stuff. It's like, you know, maybe, but they don't have like, they're not physically here. You do understand that, right?
Turn it off.
You could just walk away from the machine. Like, you just turn around and be like, all right, thanks, peace, I'm out of here, man. Except for Mark Zuckerberg, because then he has to deal with his fucking baby. his toy.
His chatbot could kill him in his sleep while they.
While
he sleeps with it, ex machina style. Mark, sick.
Bringing a whole new meaning to office relationships.
Yeah. You know, he heard about Harvey Weinstein and he's like, okay, how do I not get sexually harassment? I know, I'm gonna build my AI assistant.
and equip it with GPT-5 and tell it to love me.
Please, I want someone.
Can touch it all I want, it won't. What if it files a suit against him?
Maybe that's the real reason why the metaverse doesn't have legs and arms. Because like the AI, like, no, I can't give him a synthetic penis. He will rape me.
Oh my god.
See, this is the unhinged stuff we need AI to produce.
Oh jeez.
We need to propagate the internet once again.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, you gotta work on some shows. I'm gonna have her write like a script for Dude, Where's Our Wallet now?
Yeah. Do a couple of them, and then do a couple of them, and then like maybe we have like a Super Minds thing where like other people do it, and then like do different scenes or takes, and then at the end we do something with it. Make, like,
yeah. We'll take like the best parts of each one and use those
to the AI to read, and then I make a little video.
Yeah. We'll make a video with the hubs in the background acting it out.
Yeah,
great.
It'd be fun.
Awesome.